Because this is movies. Go on, talk, Alan.
You mean I'm...
Narrate!
The only thing worse than seeing yourself on film is hearing yourself on film. Yeah, this is the bay, not the ocean, and the ferry's coming from Lewis up the bay. And there's where you docked, over there to the right. The ferry dock.
Over there.
What you're painting on now is
A nude beach.
But the currents are very strong here. And I took the boat trip around Cape May Island and I got seasick right out of here.
Well, they didn't build that for nothing.
One osprey yesterday.
The gentleman, some accounts.
Isn't there something there? This is December the 25th, 1992, Christmas Day. The first day in over 38 years that Betsy has not been with us. I'm taking these movies about a half an hour after Eddie called to say he was on his way down for Christmas, and Charlie and Jeannie are also coming. The fire is going, and I have some music on, and we'll take some more pictures once everyone is here. Merry Christmas to all. Talk, y'all, talk. Charlie and Jeannie are now here, and Eddie.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, ho ho. Let's open the presents.
Okay.
Do we have reservations here, or does it come whenever we want?
We have reservations at noontime, but I guarantee they won't be crowded.
Oh, I don't know. There aren't too many places that are open.
Not too many people.
Okay, we'll open the present in a moment.
Hey, I think it's great. Yeah. Oh, they have Beijing duck.
Jeannie?
Oh. Oh, the plant.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool. It lived.
My tender loving care.
All right. Because we've both been too busy to mess with them, and they tend to dry up and die.
Tracing your Civil War ancestor. Don't we? We know who ours are, aren't we? Don't we?
Yeah. I did find that map, or that, not map, but the chart you were talking about, Charlie.
Ah,
The genealogical chart.
Sorry, the Kinards chart.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I mean, we have a family tree. The Kinards. Not even a parking sticker on the back.
Charlie, repeat that, what you want me to do.
Oh, you should take a movie of the back of my car. It's the first time in 5 years my car's had no bumper strips on it. The bumper got bashed, and it got replaced yesterday. So I don't even have a parking sticker.
Well, I'm sure that you'll remedy all that
Yeah.
when you get time.
Because you'd need it updated every few months.
Christmas 1992. The devastation and the aftermath.
The aftermath of Christmas.
Well, this is one day after the bumper got replaced after a crash. And it's the first time in about 5 years there have been no bumper strips on it. There aren't even any parking permits on it. So, unfortunately, the rest of the car's a mess.
What are you taking pictures of the truck up there?
No.
Leave him alone.
The water there.
Oh!
Hey, Ed, don't you
What?
Ed, don't.
This is Monday, January the 25th, 1993. I'm on Sanibel Island, Florida. I'm down visiting Bob and Sue Mills at Fort Myers, Florida. and they have brought me over here today to Sanibel. We've just had a very nice lunch, and Bob is looking at some boats, and I'm not quite sure where Susan's gone. I'll try to get some pictures of them in a little while.
Airplane here. Hello, Ed.
How you doing, Bob?
Welcome to Sanibel.
Oh, thank you very much.
Sorry the sun isn't out full blast.
Well, come on, you can't help that. It's a very lovely afternoon, I think. Wonder how often he flies that plane.
I don't know. Do a little repair on it, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, it sure was.
Gosh, I'm so full. Are you full?
I was just
Dad?
getting ready to ask you.
Are you-
I was just getting ready to ask you if you had enough to eat.
How about a banana split?
Okay, where?
All right, I
Think
could
there's
go
any
for
on the
one.
island?
Well,
I'm not. I'm just taking a shot. Oh, I say something, John.
What's that sign say, Ed?
Oh, that says Tampa something. Tampa Yacht Club, I think. See, what is today, John? What day is today?
Today is Thursday, the 28th
Of what year?
January,
All right.
1993.
Right. Now we got a date on there, haven't we, John?
This thing's silent. How do you know it's running?
I'll show you in a moment. How's it coming through?
I see a red light.
Okay, it's going then.
What's he doing?
He's taking the pictures. All right, John.
Come
Take a
on.
picture of us.
Hi,
Come
Julia.
on.
You got us?
How are you?
You see
There's
it?
your mom.
Where are you?
Here we
Mrs.
are.
May.
Go to
Where's
the
Ed?
right, John.
Do your right.
Now.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
You got us? See us?
I've got you.
You got us? Okay.
Yeah, have I stopped it? I think I have. Gotta make sure it stopped.
Let's see. Where it's not.
All right, Ed.
Okay, that's right, Julia. Talk. Wave.
Moving on.
Shade. Can't take us.
I want to get there. You're not exactly
Alan
in the
Thomas,
center of town.
Charlie Hall, and the Tampa Yacht Club. Just walk beside me. Just keep going.
I
Talk.
hope these
All
are
right, director. all
videos
right.
you're going to show for cocktails, Dad.
What is that ahead of us, Roy? The white.
It's part of a mine operation. They mine cement and gravel, that sort of thing. There's a turnoff up here. A lot of mining trucks went in and around. That's just some of the scarring, I think, from the mine. I'm watching it.
I don't know what to say about
Well,
all this red rock, except that it's red. And maybe Red would like us to pull off so he can just...
We can't,
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm doing
we
fine.
can't give you a geological expert expression, but it's been here, of course, for centuries. And there's probably a lot of iron involved in some of it, iron oxide. But this is all on the Jemez Indian Pueblo land. Indian reservation. Now we're leaving the Indian land up here pretty soon. We'll be in the national forest. Deep European curves coming out towards to get to Bandelier. Mountain there with all the strata, however you say that, strata. Geological.
We ought to get that book. There's a book called Roadside Geology of New Mexico. We ought to get that book and put it in the car. Rehabilitation Center.
And what is it, Peggy, for the camera?
Well, this whole complex with the red roofs here is a Catholic rehabilitation center for its, shall we say, wayward priests, alcoholics, pedophiles, people with other problems. They come up here and theoretically rehabilitate them. The nuns do all the work up here, and they have counselors and all this kind of stuff, but apparently it hasn't worked too well.
Now the main church is coming up here on your left, Catholic church. Get a good shot of that.
Like constitutional and all, but I don't see it much anymore.
made over many, many years just from the natural flow of the minerals in the water coming down. And here's the official scenic marker on the right.
Okay. It's fine. Really spectacular. Soda Dam.
Skiing back in them, snow falling off the pines. Oh, it's just fantastic.
There's sulfur up here. This is what the smell
We're just on the outskirts right now. We're going to get into even more beautiful areas.
Canyon and frijoles in Spanish is bean, and I read somewhere that when Bandelier came in here, it named as if like the hills were covered with beans.
And who was Bandelier, Peggy?
He was a very early anthropologist and geologist who explored this area around here on horseback, and he is the one who discovered this canyon and these ancient cliff dwellings.
In the Indian history, it was where the elders of the tribe, the chiefs and the medicine men, the priests would meet, and they'd have their ceremonies and their very religious ceremonies, and they would be very secluded everyone.
And this is all restored.
Yeah, this is. Where they could move back into another room. So they'd have this little room in the front, like the front entrance, and then they had a hole in the wall. They'd go back further into the...
They only needed the protection in the winter.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Oh, that's a good shot. All right.
And that little runner stroller. Oh, well done.
Gee, I feel like a movie person now. I think that's a marvelous scene.
Cecil B. DeHall.
Yeah, how about that? This is the Longhouse, extended all on the facade. Go on, keep talking.
Well, they're pictographs, picture writing, and there are petroglyphs because they're on stone. It's writing on stone. There are just zillions of them all over New Mexico. These aren't the finest examples here.
Here's a face over
Yeah.
here.
But if you want petroglyphs, Ed, we could take you where you would drop your mouth jaw on petroglyphs.
None of us read.
Back down the other side.
Okay. Hi, Peggy.
What the Park Service has done here is recreated the irrigation, small irrigation ditches that the Indians used to irrigate their fields down here to the back of us. And now here's a stream that, you know, was apparently flowing many, many years ago when the Indians were hundreds and hundreds of years ago. This old stream bed and the spring runoff, we're lucky to see water running in it today, and they would tap the water out of here into the irrigation channels for their field.
Now this was the security checkpoint for the entrance to Los Alamos. Sentries and machine guns would be here. Sign of the times.
There's where they have the underground blast. Up here on the right is a big, this is a cafeteria on the right, but up here past this is a big administration building. Down there with the flags and the physics and library and all sorts of other things in there. I'm not sure what all they've got in there now. 2 army barracks that have been kept in restoration,
And a lot of them lived in Quonset. The lower echelon people lived in Quonset huts that they put up temporarily.
Number 1 into the complex, Los Alamos, New Mexico. This was a dirt road in which they had to bring all their equipment and their supplies in. This was the security tower, heavily guarded, of course. taking these movies on April the 24th, 1990. Of the mountain. Huh? No. No.
Soldiers tomorrow. shots of her?
Yeah.
Well, we were just thinking, if you want to stay here and...
No, I'm ready. I'm through. I've got no. Hi.
That was he that walked out there and spoke to you. Bird cage. You have to get that. I think if you stoop a little, you can pick up that writing. I'm 6 feet tall.
Okay.
missiles, the Hound Dog missile, which was jet propelled, that the B-52 carried to extend its range. And of course, it carried a warhead, and the B-52, for all these many years since 1955, has been able to adapt to different weapons hanging from these pylons and carry them great distances and extend their range because of the missiles they can carry. Spent a lot of dollars on that stuff.
What did you call it?
Well, let's see. I'm not sure the exact nomenclature. We have to get over here to let's find a sign.
And this is
The old mining town of Madrid, New Mexico. Spelled like Madrid, but pronounced Madrid. Coming up here, we have the residue of old mining shacks that have fallen into rack and ruin.
wow.
But recently, people have tried to restore them. Artists and artisans live up here, and they have been somewhat restored as falling down as they used to be, although we're coming up somewhat falling down.
Here's the name of the town on this speed limit sign.
Yeah.
This is halfway between Albuquerque and Sanibel, on the east side of the
Sandia Mountains.
And look at this one with, looks like it's been added to
Yeah, that's new construction there.
Yeah.
Somebody's living there. You see the books in the window?
yeah.
Here's one on the left with a TV antenna on the roof. See that?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, I have trouble.
The old buildings here in Madrid, New Mexico, an old coal mining town. And this is a street going down with some of the old houses. And in back of you on that building over there, you'll have to get a shot of that if you can. Some of the old Christmas lights they've left up, it looks like. Goes up at Christmas time, the whole town would just have lights all over, and in the hills. Oscar Cooper, the owner of the town, mining company, it was a big event every year at Christmas time. Lights all over these hills and buildings. You could see the glow in the clouds from Albuquerque if you look for it.
Well, about 8 miles down. I thought maybe I'd go up.
Batter Glorina Pass. As you can see, not much left of it.
That was where the Federal troops placed some of their artillery, and the Confederates were coming up this old road, which is now, of course, paved, and the Confederates put their artillery down here off to the right of the road, and there was an artillery engagement, and you might say the Federal troops, since they had the high ground, they kind of won that little encounter. But there was all dispersal of troops, Confederate troops from Santa Fe, moving up this road towards the Federal fort north of here. And skirmishes took place all in around this area. This building here is the last remaining building of what was called Pigeon's Ranch. That was the ranch through here. And the Confederate troops drove off the Federal troops around this area, and they used this building for a brief time for some of their wounded. The building has been restored in some manner just to help preserve it a little by the people active in this group, which we have helped to get this area, this battlefield area, declared a National Historical Spot and kind of fix it up and have guided tours and everything. But this is the last remaining building, and so it's just kind of a makeshift thing to help keep it restored as a national landmark, this adobe building you're looking at. So the battles took place, the skirmishes took place all around the woods when the troops came together. Here's something you might want to do.
There you go. Isn't that some altar? Wow.
The archaeologists found seeds of different kinds of crops, so they have replanted them here and trying to make this garden the same as it was when it was inhabited by the Indians.
last evening, you know, with the Lamberts, and I'm filming the clouds. Had a great day. The wind is coming in somewhere. Peggy is trying to fix some coffee, and Roy's doing something, and I'm enjoying myself.
That's true.
Not sure.
This is New Orleans on June the 25th, 1990. Down here at AOA, we're at the Southern Yacht.
And I don't care what anybody says, that head hole's a no good SOB.
Oh, now, I don't know who this crowd is. I don't know, some crowd from Pennsylvania. The neighborhood is really going downhill.
We do all right.
Well, that's what you can.
Nah, Ed's okay. I don't care what they say about it.
Flattery will get you no place, Paul. No place at all.
Pick your friends, but you can't pick them.
That sounds like a contradiction.
When I worked for Dr. Richards,
They had service first, then it goes into that.
when I worked for Dr. Richards, he
Little
went
juicy,
to
huh?
one of his babies.
Apparently they had so those silent meaning Quakers and these are Quaker. All the ones I have ever heard of are silent. But these types are usually same place.
And they sat and they cogitated, and people got up and gave the young couple advice and everything. And all of a sudden, the young couple stood up and said they thought that they were married. There was no
The service in the 40s.
What part were they in?
It's in the Faneuil Hall Marketplace.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But they were there before it got...
I've been there lots of times, but I never.
Come on, talk, y'all.
They've been,
It's movies.
They were there before it got renovated.
Charlie, be quiet. Let somebody else talk.
Talk, Charlie, it's
I was
movies.
asked a question.
Okay, Tom, talk.
How you doing?
Okay.
Voice is gone.
Oh, I can see that. All right, Trish, talk.
Oh, that's no problem.
Imagine that, I'm eating again.
Eddie?
Hi.
You're doing what?
Hello.
All right, Charlie, now you may talk.
Tired.
Oh, I have permission to talk.
Now he doesn't want to talk he's taking pictures.
That's right.
You get adequate light with that to make movies and anything? He's not sure, but he'll find out.
Oh, there's Walter.
Hi. Walter, baby.
Oh, Charlie.
I'm trying to do
Boy,
this.
Tom, your voice is going.
He's gone.
It's gone.
That's my mom with
How
the
long
camera.
can we keep these people?
That's the way they
standing
are
in a
when you have
pose?
to.
Oh, he can go for hours.
Don't pose. Don't pose. But it'll be a great picture.
We want it candid.
Sue, say something.
Something.
She just woke up, sleepyhead.
Oh.
She takes direction well. You told her to say something.
Probably wonders why I tried to talk him out of bringing his camera and everything.
See the one that was saying we did a little point and shoot instead of.
I was the one saying that.
Oh, okay.
I've been
Jean
through
was
this
saying
before.
Eh?
Yes.
Everyone preaches some.
What?
Who's in the club? Betsy's phone?
Now he's doing
Who's
it
next was
on
name to
Sunday.
go?
I guess Bob's Park though.
Just came to mind when he said that, that's all.
We ate enough today. We each had like, what, 3 beers?
No, I just had one. Two.
God, I was amazed. My brother being a professional photographer,
Because it was so
old
boring.
camera equipment he had and everything, even that old
I
graphite.
felt like
I know,
was
Smile.
magnifying glass today.
When I asked Marcel, what'd you do with old times stuff?
We went
Well,
to
her-
the terrace.
Her cousin.
Really?
Westbrook stuff.
We were.
Oh, that'll be a great shot.
If he ever takes it.
She gave whatever he wanted to him. He gave the rest of the stuff away.
At that one bar, we had the best.
I don't know whether it'll turn out or not. You'll find out.
The whole film is the size of a picture. So you can get some
He's a
information.
professional photographer. He started his own business when he was about 18 years old. And where he made all of his money was doing the photos for the chauffeurs and truck drivers' driver's licenses in Ohio.
Oh, jeez.
And then he and
Great photographic
he and
talent.
his wife's cousin went together and they started doing a lot of work for the government. Tom could fly single-engine planes.
Yes, it does.
I'd like a bacon omelet.
Bacon omelet, do you like cheese on there? I have a bacon and cheddar omelet with steak.
Go ahead, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
The thing that got me was the stuff you shot yesterday.
Yeah.
You put it right in the machine and ran. I thought it had to be developed.
Oh, no.
Same thing inside. Made a room bigger.
With 2 windows on it.
number of tall red and white towers located on what is called Greenberry Point. It is here that Annapolis was originally founded in 1634, when it was known as Providence. However, the settlers found that the point of land was too exposed to the weather and too rough for their small ships. Therefore, in 1649, they moved to the present site of Annapolis. The tower all housed in the big building that you see, known as Bancroft Hall. It is said to be the largest co-ed dormitory in the free world. There are 4.5 miles of corridors, 33 acres of floor space. However, there is no air conditioning. Oh.
Alright, I'm recording you guys. Now suddenly you've gone quiet on me. Where's all the words of wisdom? Come on, speak.
Dad, we gotta get you laid.
When do you plan to do that?
Now we gotta pick a time. Maybe Christmas. That's his birthday. Give him a belated birthday present. Right.
How you doing, Zeke?
He's gonna kick in about $40 a piece. Then you get him a nice piece house. $100 to get you a nice shot of coffee.
You don't have any confidence in me, do you, Mr. Lighthauser?
No, I don't, Ed. I can't.
Our friend Jim, Miss Ferry's walking around with 2 shirts on, and that's it.
Magazine was 12 feet down.
Is that right?
Well, they would have had an entrance, and it would have been sort of a subterranean room.
That's right, with lots of
earth.
What's
happened is the roof has collapsed. That's that depression right there. I don't know where the entrance is. Maybe we can see it.
How about there?
Well, that's the entrance into the fort. You can see the path.
So what is this? The fort here? Somewhere along.
Right? You don't think this?
Probably around.
You don't think this is the thing that we saw with the?
It's just like it.
You don't think this is it, huh?
No, I don't think this is it. We'd see that masonry stuff.
Well, you're also looking at those hill drops back here. That's what I was thinking. That's the only place you get view. They have the stone wall.
Yeah.
The whole outside trench down there is stone up like this. Take the easy route.
To be on the other side.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. It would be the most defensive.
But this is a well-preserved stone and earth fort that nobody knows a damn thing about.
Doesn't give a shit coming out here. She was black.
Yeah.
So just kind of ignore it. I think that has light.
ACP don't make this a national monument.
Yeah, you know, you get till the NAACP, they will make it a national monument. They'll spend $20 million into this goddamn thing.
I'll be in the wrong there too.
They'll start signing it from Mahal.
Give me a word pick. Remember, it's not the fall that hurts you, it's the stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, the river's straight down.
Yeah, it's almost underneath the cliff.
That's like a balloon.
Yeah.
Boone's cave over here. That's They give him a good fucking dinner.
It's right over here somewhere. I've never been to it.
Squeal like a pig.
It's supposed to be an old pig. I don't know. I've never been to it. The cemetery is about half mile back over here, 3/4 mile.
This is the National Military Cemetery, Camp Nelson. These are Union dead who were brought from the Battle of Perryville. Many are unknown. The unknowns are the ones with the simple stone, the flat top. Around, I believe, 500.
Side of it. I thought that was pretty interesting. That white barn opposite Asbury's, the very tip of the hill. Come back, there's one barn right at the base of it, and then another one with kind of a green roof.
Yeah.
That's an Army tank hangar, if you want to call it hangar garage. The guy literally went over to Fort Knox, dismantled it by himself, piece by piece, and brought it back here and built it back again.
He had a lot of time on it.
Oh shit! You gotta see the massive lumber and rock in it now. How he did it.
What's this place on?
No, he didn't for a barn. Huh? It was free, I guess. It bid out and got the
Re-brick the whole fucking thing.
I think I got it.
You have no idea what Wharton's intention was to clear this area in advance of the main infantry attack, and he reported to his supervisors that the way was indeed open for the advance. The Confederate infantry then crossed the river, many climbing the bluffs of the riverbank, and assembled out of sight on the low field straight ahead. That must be down here. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Where's David?
That monument over there was erected by the same guy that put up the Confederate, the new Confederate tombstone up in the front. It was one of his ancestors. Cope.
This ain't cheap. Post 3, furthest advance of the 223rd New Orleans Infantry, 2:20 p.m. spot marks the center of 123rd Illinois Infantry Regiment, a large unit whose rank extended 800 feet across. Like most of the Union men in this engagement, the soldiers of the 123rd were experiencing their first combat. The regiment started out here, and I go, regiment behind you. When Maney's Confederates first came into view, the 123rd charged down the hill to the fence and fired a volley. However, the men of the 123rd retreated as the Confederates would walk up the hill past the Union monument toward the high open hill. I see what they've done here. Steadily advancing. By this time, every man's God. I can't walk in with it. I can't walk.
Oh my goodness. 5, we didn't see it, I guess.
7, 8, 9. On the wrong side of the road. It's got 11 fucking cars.
On the right side of the road.
I said we were on the wrong side of the road to see the clip. Same thing about you driving on the wrong side of the road. I'm not the kind of guy that would mention that.
He got a surprise coming up in about 10 seconds. Now about 5. He's going to blow around some fucking corner, pile up on somebody's ass and be in his front seat.
He's going to blow her all the time.
hire a nigger.
You want to chew on some bread, Jim, and you feel better?
Could have gone downtown with a pint, not the driver.
Yeah, exactly.
These are going to be great movies.
Well, you're fucking joining in it.
I like the way he cuts these curves, you know.
Double fence like this.
Miles as big as this room would burn as long as 2 weeks. It was just nauseating to extreme. So much so that there were reports of people going home.
Here we shall be visited with pestilence, for every breath we draw is made ugly by the stench. Sarah Broadhead.
In the chaos surrounding the battle and its aftermath, many of the wounded were neglected or even forgotten entirely.
This building was in Confederate lines from the first day of the battle, and perhaps as many as 400 or 500 men were brought here. A woman of the town came out here a couple days after the battle to do whatever she could to help. There had been heavy rain as the battle was ending, and she went downstairs to find men in water, and she was fearful that they would drown.
So Doug, this is what,
Men wounded in
seminary?
3 or 4 places, not able to help themselves the least bit, lay almost swimming in water. Sarah Broadhead, July 8th, 1863. Mrs. Broadhead.
It is Thanksgiving Day, November the 25th, 1993, around 11:30 at the Annapolis Yacht Club. Charlie, Jeannie, and Eddie will be here in a little while to join me for Thanksgiving dinner. Now talk to me!
It's cold out here.
Well, walk towards me.
Thanksgiving Day 1994. 3? That's right, it's 1993. I'm already ahead of myself.
How was the meal?
Delicious, as always.
Good.
Mini cam.
Cool camera.
Is that an 8mm?
Yeah,
Yep. You're not what?
8mm.
I want to go before I freeze.
Okay.
See
Thanks
ya.
for coming. Wave at me. How you doing?
Fine.
Walk towards me. You're what makes this parking lot tick. You know that, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir.
When do you get some turkey? When you get some turkey?
Oh, I'm going to get some when I go home.
Okay.
Big one. It's only me and my wife tonight.
Okay. How long do you have to stay here?
Oh, probably between 5 and 6.
Yeah. Well, that's not too bad.
Oh, no.
Okay.
We never eat that early anyway.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see you.
Okay, you have a nice...
This is your finger in the stirrup.
Okay.
You can't afford swizzle stick.
There's a whole coffee can full of them.
Now you're supposed to talk, Jane. Don't you have anything to say?
No.
That's me, Mom. This is Pap.
She ain't got nothing to say.
Thank you for the drink.
Good. This is the Clampets. We come to see you and we have our truck.
Yeah.
We got our teeth fixed.
Why does he wait so long?
He always waits to buy me my Christmas. This year he did buy me some because there were some sales, but...
First milk this week.
What does she like, Jane?
Tacos.
Hey, why don't you look at me? Wave at me, Jane. And you don't have to hold the button down, Bill. But when you're ready to stop recording, you see the red light will come on.
Okay.
Oh, it's recording now. So speak to your husband, Jane.
I said they're boy toys, aren't they?
That's pretty nice, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's a market.
Yeah. Hi, Dan. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Somebody I want you to meet.
Coffee.
Yeah, I want you to meet someone. Yeah. I smell something ginger coffee. The ginger coffee. Huh?
They need her.
How you doing?
He's not in school, so he gets to go places outside.
Early meeting in College Park, back to work as well.
My name is Jim Lighthauser. I'm Secretary of Transportation for the state of Maryland. This is a very, very big day. I've been asked a couple housekeeping things before I get started, or we get started. One is there are some mementos on the table in the back of the room here, back of the tent, and after the ceremony you're invited to help yourself to one. One other housekeeping matter. Is Bruce Carlin here? Where's Bruce? Get up here, Bruce. Bruce, I have a tie here that was found in a saloon in Solomon's Island, Maryland, and somebody told me it's beyond you. Bruce Carlin, for those of you who don't know him, is the governor's advance man. Apparently he was fought in 1862, and that night Robert E. Lee's Army of Northern Virginia retreated from that battle and gradually wound its way down here to the banks of the Antietam. The particular place we're standing, which is highlighted by the Shuley farm, was before the battle and during the battle a Confederate wagon train staging area. It then became, during the battle and after the battle, a Confederate hospital, or a hospital filled mainly with Confederate soldiers, wounded soldiers. After the battle was over and Lee retreated September 18th, or I guess September 19th, back into Northern Virginia, General Fitzjohn Porter of the 5th Corps took it over and made it his headquarters as well as a hospital. On October 3rd, President Lincoln came here to visit General McClellan for the purposes of getting him moving. And he visited the Grove Farm behind us and visited with many of the wounded soldiers. Some of them came up to him. Some of them he and General McClellan actually went
they're bedridden, and shook their hand. And he told them that he bore them no malice. And that event, I guess, was as defining as anything about the most defining moment in our history, the American Civil War. Of course, modern history saw this area threatened with development. And we, and I say we because almost everybody in this room bears some responsibility for making it happen, if you will. But the one who probably deserves, not probably does deserve more than anybody else is my boss, Governor William Donald Schaefer. I just can't say enough good things about his commitment to Civil War heritage preservation. There's simply no official of his stature in America that has the commitment, made the commitment to this particular project and to those particular projects or that particular effort. This package is 4 parcels. It's a total of 95.6 acres. The total cost is $1.2 million. It's mostly ICE-T money. For those of you that don't know what ICE-T is, it's an acronym for Intermodal Surface Transportation Efficiency Act of 1991. The Department of Natural Resources program. The largest tract here, just over here, is owned by Schaff, so 40 acres. And of course we've got the Shuley property, and of course we've got the Hess property. This 95 acres, I would suggest to you, is only a start. The governor has signed off on a program through a combination of fee simple and easements to hopefully preserve some 1,200 acres in this general area, South Mountain and the Antietam or Sharpsburg area. There is also another partner that I didn't even realize until the other day is becoming a key actor, particularly in the South Mountain area, and that's the Trust for Appalachian Lands. And its chairman is a friend of mine, Chuck Sloan. Where is Chuck? Over here. Lincoln. Come on over, Chuck. Chuck, just coincidentally, and I go back 25 years, I guess. We've been friends. And the other day, Chuck called me to tell me that what they're doing on the South Mountain area, and since it's kind of in collusion with us, or in concert with us, I'd like to ask Chuck to say a few words.
Fox Gap, Battlefield, the Katz property. I understand Mr. Katz is Mr. Katz here, by the way. He apparently owned a part of this property also, 50 acres. It's the upper part of the battlefield, and for those of you who don't know, that was one of the great what-if battles of the war. Had McClellan moved 12 hours earlier, he could have cut the Confederate Army into pieces, and that could have been the end of the war.
They have a proclamation that they want to give to my boss, Governor Schaefer. Governor Schaefer, would you come forward, please?
Whereas the Bible exhorts us to remember the days of old and consider the years of many generations, and whereas the greatest struggle ever to occur in a single day on the North American continent took place on the 17th day of September in the year of our Lord 1862 in and around Sharpsburg, Washington County, Maryland, and whereas more than 400 Confederate wounded were brought to the Grove Farm on September 17th and 18th, and whereas the Grove Farm served as headquarters for Major General Fitzjohn Porter, Commander 5th Corps, Army of the Potomac, in the weeks after the battle, and whereas President Abraham Lincoln and General George B. McClellan visited the Grove Farm on October 3rd, 1862, and shook the hands of the Confederate wounded, and whereas all Americans owe a debt of gratitude to the farmers and natives of the Sharpsburg area for their efforts to save this historic site from development, now therefore, through the efforts of Governor William Donald Schaefer and the citizens of Maryland, Grove Farm is Grove Farm preserved so that our children and our children's children may come to this place to learn of and appreciate the heroic sacrifices of the valiant soldiers of both armies whose blood was shed on this sacred ground.
Huzzah! Hey! Huzzah!
Thank you, gentlemen. President Lincoln, John McClellan. It's successful to any degree that it has been if it hadn't been for the leadership and the backing of my boss. Would you please
If I commend him to you, would you please recognize my boss, Governor William Donald Schaefer?
Thanks very much, Jim. I appreciate that. I want to thank the band for being here. They've got their new uniforms on. I really want to thank them for being here. And all the elected officials and all of you that have made this day possible. I have been up to Antietam a number of times when I was mayor and also when I was governor, and it's really an emotional place as far as I'm concerned, down Bloody Run, and where Americans ran back and forth over the bodies of some of their friends and their relatives, and the many people that were wounded and killed here at this historic place, and then the hospital where President Lincoln went over and shook hands with the Confederate soldiers and said he had no animosity to them. And I think about the wounded in those days. If you were hit by a bit of shrapnel or a bullet, or you broke your arm or your leg as you charged back and forth, your chances of survival were very, very limited. They did not have the great battlefield technicians that we had during the World War II and Vietnam and Korea and Desert Storm. And then to see what is happening here, and Jim Lighthauser was so kind to me, but it was actually Jim Lighthauser that proposed this to me, that he would be able to use this special funds, this ICT funds, to buy the land or the easement. It had to have been for Jim, and it had to have been for the people in the state roads and all the rest of you who have great interest, we wouldn't be here. Not easy to spend $1 million on land, and I remember discussions at the pre-board meeting and during the meeting of the Board of Public Works on what are we doing? And it was so obvious to me that we were doing the right thing, because once the land is gone, once it's developed, you never reclaim it. It's gone forever. And I think we owe a great deal of our feelings for those who will follow us, so that they will have an opportunity, as we have, to see the battlefield and feel the war between the states the way we can. Maryland is so rich in Civil War heritage, and the preservation is so necessary. And I know that the elected officials up here, the problems that they had, they were thinking about tax base, they were thinking about money, and that I think about just about every day. And yet they cooperated and worked with us to preserve this piece of land, because once it was gone, it would never get it back. We went to South Mountain, and as you know, Jim Lighthauser is a historian. He's a man that knows the Civil War as if he were there at the time. He can tell you about every general. He can tell you the birth, the death of the people that were in the war. Tell you about each battle. I went up to Gettysburg before I went to see the film Gettysburg, and he went to all the important spots and showed us all the spots that were there. And then when I saw the film, it just was just brought to life what was happening. But this battlefield at Antietam, smaller, you can see, you can feel the misery and the pain of the soldiers as they fought each other, as they went through the cornfield, and they shot right at each other, and brother shooting brother, relative shooting relative, American shooting American. But the war was necessary, I guess, whatever it was for. But it's over. Now our country has problems now that maybe started back even before the Civil War, and the things that we must do to heal those wounds. But to get to what we did today and what we're doing right now, the Grove Farm in the area is so important. It's so important if we're going to preserve and keep for generations the things that we hold so sacred. So I want to personally thank you all. We supplied the money along with you. We supplied the funds through ICE-T and through other ways. But if we hadn't all worked together, if we hadn't all had one objective, we wouldn't be here. And that's every one of us. And I know it was right. I know it's right to do what we did and what we're doing right today. Got more to do. There's more land to be acquired, funds to be spent for it. And then after it is, there has to be development. There has to be people who are interested in what we're doing and to carry on. So again, I guess there is a term that I have when I come to a place like this. It's emotional. It really is emotional to go to Antietam, come to this farm, and just think about the president walking along up the hill onto the farm, looking down at the soldiers and saying, I have no animosity to you. We want you to get well. And this is where he did it. And it sends something through me. It really does. It just makes me feel we're part of such a great country. When Abraham Lincoln was here and the general was here, if we could do this to heal some of the problems that we have now. So Mr. Lighthauser, Secretary, and all of your people have worked so hard, and all of you, great historic day. We stand and we should really know the significance of what we're doing today. Years from now, people will stand here and say, you know, well, this was always here like this. It was always, nobody bothered, it just happened. It didn't just happen, it was because people cared, and I want to thank you all.
I have here a framed photo of Abraham Lincoln meeting with General McClellan, and it reads at the Grove Farm, and it reads, President Lincoln visits the Grove Farm near Antietam, December 14, 1993, commemorating Maryland's preservation of the Grove Farm. William Donald Schaefer, Governor. Two more items, one actor. That's so much to this. Thank you all very, very much.
It is Christmas Day, December 25th, 1993. I'm waiting for Eddie to arrive, and then we're going over to Jeannie's mother, Mrs. Marsher's, for a Christmas dinner.
Well, Jeannie, what's in those big boxes there? That's what I'm interested to see. Is that for you?
This is for Charlie.
That's my. I'm anxious to see what's in there. What is that?
Which is not well preserved because it's in the middle of the town.
Well, actually, I was out to Hagerstown a couple of weeks ago for the ceremonies of the, and the governor was there and the secretary was there.